The snow falls softly on a vast, deserted facility in southeastern Poland. Before World War II, these were barracks for the Polish army.
Spearheaded by paratroop units, 3 German armies struck at dawn on September 1st, 1939.
Once the German war machine was put into motion, it was transformed into a churning industrial complex, and the industry was killing.
A death factory. Everybody who went there never expected to come out alive.
This is a story told from 2 locations, from one of the darkest, most menacing places on the planet, and from the cheery living room of a Delray Beach retiree. The little boy in the picture is Mark Shupak, before the world as he knew it fell apart. The elderly man on the couch is Mark Shupak at 76, awash in memories of a place and a time too horrifying for most of us to comprehend.
It's like it happened yesterday. I haven't forgotten.
He's talking about Auschwitz, where against the greatest of odds, he survived a year and a half of hard labor, near starvation, and physical abuse.
I was 10 years old. I'd never seen a dead person in my life. All of a sudden, I see people get killed for nothing. What is going on here? Is the world come to an end?
His attack on one of Germany's neighbors met with resistance.
On September 1st, 1939, Hitler invaded Poland from 3 directions. The town of Auschwitz was an early prize. The Third Reich changed its name to Auschwitz and turned it into an instrument of extermination of Polish political prisoners. 100,000 Catholics were murdered here. Then it became the staging area for the final solution, Hitler's plan to kill every Jew in Europe.
Then, when the Germans moved on May 11th, Hitler's plan became clear.
It was in a small town square like this one in Krakow, Poland, where Mark Shupak saw his first murders. The abusive German army had stepped aside for the malevolent, murderous SS troops. And his father was forced to play a role in the murders.
Stay right here is a picture here. Now, how can you justify or see this here? Here, 1942. This is the hanged. I was right there in the crowd. My father had to put down a hangman noose of one of his friends.
10 men were hung that day. Within a few months, Shupak's father had been forced into the back of a truck converted to a mobile gas chamber and murdered himself. Mark, his sister, his mother Adele, and thousands of others were jammed onto cattle cars, told to bring their valuables. The Nazis assured them they were being relocated to Auschwitz. The train ride to Auschwitz runs along some of the same tracks put down by the Nazis 65 years ago. The track ends at the entrance to Birkenau, the sprawling camp adjoining Auschwitz. The doors to the cattle cars were pulled open here at Birkenau, a stone's throw from Auschwitz, this the other death camp. As Shupak, his mother, and sister were loaded off, they were eyeball to eyeball with one of the great villains of the 20th century.
Right in front of the platform was Mengele, who decided you fate.
With a wave of a riding crop, left or right, Dr. Joseph Mengele, the son of a wealthy Bavarian industrialist, would determine who would live to work and who would be taken immediately to the gas chamber, disguised as a communal shower, to be poisoned by Cyclone B. I walk into the chamber, a place of evil efficiency. Fake shower heads hang from the ceiling of the concrete room, where 1,000 people were told to strip naked. Gas crystals killed all of them in minutes. On the other side of the wall, the crematorium, an assembly line to reduce bodies to ashes. On the train platform that day, the riding switch swung Mark's way.
My mother had a premonition. She says to me, she took some lipstick, put in my cheeks, so I should look healthy.
That last gesture of love may have saved his life. He was given life. He never saw his mother again. By the thousands, they passed under the great lie, Arbeit macht free, labor brings freedom. While public executions instilled terror in the camp, hideous experiments were being carried on. Seawater injected into this man's veins. Toxins rubbed on this man's skin. Mengele was obsessed with twins, genetic engineering. Children were routinely sacrificed in the interest of creating a perfect Aryan race. A makeshift prison orchestra summoned prisoners to labor or public executions. The death work went on and on day after day. Unbeknownst to the detainees, the Germans were starting to lose the war. The sound of Allied bombers overhead gave Shupak and tens of thousands of others here hope that actually liberation could be coming. Instead, it led to a deadly forced march at gunpoint through the frigid Polish winter.
We walked day and night, cold, freezing, no overcoat. All you had is the blanket.
In impossibly harsh conditions, they slogged through drifts of snow. Fall or hesitate, and you die.
Everyone who couldn't continue, who fell out, was shot. And every minute you hear a shot.
A Nazi soldier took these pictures of women executed because they were too weak to go on.
Every single day you just figure, can I survive one extra day?
Mark Schupak did. He was eventually liberated from Buchenwald. He has the picture.
I'm in the crowd there. Look in the back what the American soldier wrote in the back.
He wrote, "Inmates cheer the 7th Army Liberators." Many of these inmates were going to be killed the next week. Mark became a U.S. citizen and a U.S. soldier. He served in the Korean War. He had the tattoo the Germans burned into his arm taken off.
I had it removed because what happened was too many people kept asking me.
The images, though, cannot be removed. They linger in memory. All these years passed. His question is everyone's question.
How can a person, and I witnessed it, during the day go kill innocent people, then go home, have dinner with his family? They're indoctrinated the day they were born to hate. So why are we surprised?